Hey everybody, I am Kenya and welcome to my YouTube channel. So I want to give you guys some tips to give you the courage to inspire someone to get out and solo travel if that's something that you've always wanted to do, but something that you've been reluctant and hesitant to just go and do. And I feel like a lot of people fearmonger people when they speak about solo traveling. I know that's been an issue with me, telling me it's dangerous, they would never do it. Sometimes people are projecting, okay? They are projecting. I remember I had this friend and I was supposed to go to Paris with my son. My son caught like a little attitude with me and he didn't want to go. I'm still going to Paris, okay? So I said, you know what? I'm not about to cancel my trip because he's having an attitude problem. So I proceeded to go to Paris alone, okay? And I had a friend that was like, I would never, that is dangerous. Like, he was going on and on. Mind you, this man is older than me. He's got to be deep into his 40s. And I asked him, like, you've never been anywhere by yourself? And he's like, well, I went to LA once and I walked around downtown. A grown man talking about he's scared to go places by himself. That's no shade. But anywho, come to find out, he didn't even have a passport, so he couldn't solo travel across the pond if he wanted to. So a lot of the times when people are trying to discourage you from solo traveling, a lot of the time it's projection. They don't have a passport for whatever reason, or they just don't have the means to travel. I remember talking to one of my friends I went to high school with. We were like messaging back and forth in our Instagram DMs, and he was telling me like, why don't you travel more? And I was like, well, I don't really have anybody to travel with. I don't really travel with my son, but you know, he's growing up and, you know, he doesn't want to hang with mom like that and be going on vacation with me like that. And so he's like, why don't you just solo travel? I was like, I don't know. And then he gave me a Instagram name of a girl. He was like, oh, she solo travels all the time. I follow her. She goes everywhere. It seems like she has a blast. And so I go check out her Instagram page and I'm like, you know what? I think I'm gonna do it. And I think I saw her videos before I actually went to Paris on my own. And I want to also mention that I did grow up an only child, so being alone and spending time alone is not really an issue for me. Like, I was a child that spent a lot of time alone, so if you are someone who can't be alone, this might be a little impossible feat for you, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like it all depends on your personality, on whether or not you are able to do things on your own. So I consider myself an introvert, but I'm an outgoing introvert because when I'm outside, I'm able to socialize normally without really being awkward. So it's easy for me to talk to people. It's easy for people to come up to me and start talking. It's crazy. Even my last trip to South Africa when I went to Cape Town, and when I went on my vineyard tour, there was a lady there celebrating her birthday with a couple of friends. We all like took pictures. We don't know each other. I just make friends. And I feel like when you travel, it also helps you to evolve as a person. Like when you're just meeting people from different parts of the world and they're telling you their life story. I met this one guy from Norway when we went on the vineyard tour and he was just telling me about his world travels. It was just a good time, and I really feel like for personal growth, it is imperative to travel outside of your country. Period. However, I know times are hard right now. The economy is volatile and people are losing jobs, and you're probably looking at your phone, your tablet, or your TV like, girl, we can't travel. We want to enjoy our lives and have fun and have experiences, but we cannot, you know, afford to travel like that, and that's fine too. There are also so many places in the US where you can also travel. The US is so large and there's just so much to see. Also, I don't know if I've ever mentioned this in any of my previous videos, but I used to be a flight attendant. So like flying around the country is just not a big deal to me. Now, when you are traveling, be careful. Study the country's customs and traditions. I went to Cartagena, Colombia. I did a whole vlog on that. While I enjoyed myself, I really feel like it could be a little bit sketchy, a little bit dangerous. You gotta have some street smarts. I recommend like Bogota, Colombia, if you're gonna go to Colombia, Bogota or Medellin, okay? I feel like Cartagena is a little more cultural. Like, you're gonna see more people that look like me, which I love. I don't have a problem with that. But I almost had to get active on the beach, okay? In Cartagena, I had to pull out my mace because a lady was trying me, okay? We don't want to have to pull out our mace on vacation, okay? I feel like I'm I'm pretty street smart, I feel like this lady and this man was trying to finesse me, aka rob me, and I was like, I don't know what y'all trying to do. And I went from hi to I had a little bass in my voice, and they backed up off me. Okay, you don't want to have to do that on vacation, okay? But anywho, that was long-winded. I'm so long-winded. I'm so sorry, okay? If you are someone who wants to get into, you know, solo traveling, whether it be stateside or international, this is what I would suggest. You can go to websites like eventbrite.com, getyourguide.com, viator.com, groupon.com, or like livingsocial.com, just to name a few, to find activities in your city that you can do solo. So I went to this like perfume making place. You can make like fragrances, perfumes, candles, room sprays, and I just went over there and basically made my own concoction of a room spray. I believe it was like $40 or so, but it was just something to do that was solo, if you get what I'm saying. And so if you're someone who just needs to get into a habit of doing things solo by yourself and on your own, that's what I would recommend. So another time I went to like a bingo night, okay? And I just Googled bingo in my area, bingo halls near me. And I found like this Boys and Girls Club, I believe, like a few towns over from me. And the bingo game started at $20. And so I come in and I buy like a little bingo like marker thingy. I had my little cup of coffee. I think they serve food there as well. And I was sitting in front of these like older ladies. I think that they were like a lesbian couple, honestly, but they were like in their like late 60s. And they were like basically coaching me on how to play bingo. Because let's be real, I haven't played bingo since I was like in elementary school. So they were like having like different games and scoreboards. And so they were like, oh, hi, how are you? Is this your first time here? I'm like, yes, I have no clue what I'm doing. And they were like, don't worry, we're gonna help you. And then one lady had all her crystals set up for good luck, and they just like coached me along. So that was like something good, like just something to do, something that was fairly inexpensive, $20, something just to get out the house and try my luck at winning some money. So I would recommend something like that. I also did like a paint and sip in a town like 2 towns over from me, and basically you bring your own wine. I had me some cute little cans of wine, and they have like all types of wine glasses and things like that, corkscrew openers, and basically we did a paint and sip. She showed us how to paint a photo. My photo didn't come out that great, but I tried. I'm gonna try to do that again this year for sure. And there were just people, there was a couple next to me that I was talking to. Like, it was just something good to do to just get out of the house, you know what I'm saying? So I would recommend that as well. I also went to like the zoo. They have all types of activities. They have zip lining, they have obstacle courses, I feel like horse riding or something like that. And when I got there, I did like this paddle boat. There's like this huge pond. I got in the paddle boat. It was really relaxing, and I just did the paddle boat around the pond. It was like $10 or something like that. That was just something really easy to do. I've also done kayaking a couple of times. It was like right there in the midst of like the New York City ferries going from Jersey to New York City, the Statue of Liberty ferries going to Ellis Island. Like, it was in that area, and it was fun. The water was like a little bit rough in that area because it's the Hudson River, you know what I'm saying? It connects into the Atlantic Ocean, and so that was a really cool experience. I believe I only had to donate like $10 to rent the boat, and my son actually did that activity with me, which was great. That was a great way that we could bond. I also did kayaking on, I feel like it was the Hackensack River, maybe it was the Hudson River, I'm not sure, but it was like a different area of the Hudson River, not like right there in the middle of like New York City waterway vehicles, like yachts and stuff going back and forth. So we were a little out the way, but we were like kayaking through like marshes, and it was like a sunset kayaking thing, so the sun was going down, so it got really dark, and I was just like, wait, hold up, I'm adventurous, but this is a little too adventurous to me, okay? So I did that solo, and of course there's other solo kayakers there. We talked and chatted, and it was just something fun to do. And so just try like small little day trips like that. Like if you're in the New York City tri-state area, right, they have day trips, Niagara Falls, $150 day trip. So you meet somewhere at New York Penn Station, a bus takes you up to Niagara Falls, you look at the falls, they take you on like a tour or whatever, and then you come back to New York Penn Station. So just try some activities like that. Maybe if you live in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, you might have to drive over to Chicago to like partake in some daytime activities. Something like, you know, not too far, but just a cute little distance away. I live in New Jersey, so this upcoming winter I plan to take myself down to the Poconos. Also this year I got some cute little ski resort wear that I'm excited to wear. So yes, I'll be at the Poconos. Like, I live in Jersey, I would go to Atlantic City where you can get like an inexpensive room, but don't go too inexpensive because Atlantic City could be really sketchy, okay? If you go to Atlantic City, be careful, okay? Be careful. But that's just something that you could do really quick. I personally love Miami. I don't care how overrated people say Miami is. I will always have a grand old time in Miami, okay? It's relaxing, and I love to go like the first week of September. It's not too hot, it's not too cold. The crowd is just very calm, and I love it, okay? I will start out like stateside. I hope that I can encourage and inspire you guys, women or men, to just get out and just do some things, live your life, create memories for yourself so you can look back on them and just be like, wow, okay. I've been printing out like photo books over the past few years. There's this app I found on Instagram. They also have a website. It's called chatbooks.com. No, this is not sponsored. I'm not trying to promote anything. However, what if the internet goes down one day and all your photos are digital? Like, and so I have this recent one, which I just have like photos from vacations from 2022. And so I like printed out like memories. I just wanted to print out like just all of our activities, even going into Manhattan during Christmas time. We went to Rockefeller Center where he went ice skating. Or was that Bryant Park? One of those. And he got like his little drawing painted of himself. Here is the ice skating rink, just him in Mexico. Like, we have to create memories for ourselves as well. My grandmother, when she started to get up in age, it seems like she was very, I wouldn't say miserable, but she hadn't done much things in her life. And her sister, which is my aunt, said like, you know, she didn't really do much with her life, and this is why she's a little bit disgruntled. And so I don't want to be up in age looking back on my life thinking my youth went by, my middle-aged years went by, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't get to truly experience life. And even if you are middle-aged and you're up there in age, it's not too late to start enjoying life. Because when I was going to South Africa, there was this older couple and the man retired, and he was saying how he had worked all his life, and now they're traveling all around the world. And you know, a lot of these, like, you go travel, you go explore different places, it's a lot of walking. And he's like, oh, his back is hurting, his knees. And it's like, get all the zip lining, the parasailing, the snorkeling, get all that out the way when you're younger, so that when you are older and going on vacation, you could just be sitting poolside, beachside, sipping wine, you know, sipping a little champagne, all right? When I went to Paris, I saw these older black women sitting at their table. They had their little bottle of Moet. They had a little cute little meal, and they were just sipping their champagne. Now I'm over to the side by myself sipping my little one glass of wine, eating a burger. But I was like, wow, when I'm up in age and when I retire and I'm trying to travel, I'm trying to be like those ladies. Those were my inspiration. Those older ladies, they looked like they had to be like in their 70s, but they looked good, you know. And so I say all that to say, I hope that I encourage someone to just get out, live your life, travel, just do all the things that you want to do. And yeah, like, comment, and subscribe on your way out, and I will see you guys in my next YouTube video. Toodles. Here was just a quick OOTD. My blazer is thrifted. I believe the brand is BB Dakota. And my little tank top I probably got from like a cheap store like the 10 Spot. The pants are Aritzia.
The shoes are Zara, and the purse is from the brand COS. And yes,